Thanks for joining today. Let's get started with some flexibility. So we'll work from the ground up. Let's just start with our feet. Ankle mobility, just moving our feet or foot in a circle. Now your posture is nice and tall. Shoulders are relaxed. Think about your core. Sit as tall as you can. Go in one direction and then change directions. Go the opposite way. And just trying to move your foot in a circle, drawing a circle. Think about drawing a circle with your toes. And whatever you can do is whatever you can do. Don't worry about it. Don't judge yourself. Just move your foot. Other leg, other foot. Same thing. Working on the ankle mobility. Trying to draw a circle with your toes. Change directions, and you'll notice it as you move through your ankle mobility. These muscles around the shin really start to activate and work, and it's okay. Our muscles help us control our skeleton, moving in certain ways, right? So we're activating muscles, tendons, ligaments to work and manipulate that foot so we can get ankle mobility. Let's continue with our ankle mobility. Both feet down, toes up. So a little bit more linear ankle mobility where you're just trying to go straight up and down with your toes. And then from there, we'll switch and now raise your heels. So more of a front to back type of mobility for the ankle. Now from here, let's transition to our hamstrings. We're going to stretch out our leg, the back of our leg, behind the thigh, one leg at a time. Posture's real tall. Shoulders are up and back. Think about bending forward from the waist, two hands sliding down. Now try to keep your back fairly straight to the best of your ability. All right, so we don't want to round the spine. Your challenge is keeping your back as straight as possible. A more apt description would be neutral spine. Right, so keeping a neutral spine, a somewhat neutral, flat low back, chest is up, shoulders are down. You're almost maintaining a good posture as you bend forward. So what we're trying to prevent from happening is your spine rounding at the shoulders. Because we tend to loosen it all up, loose, round, and reach. And then all of a sudden we're promoting this poor posture. Let's not do that. Always think about good posture. Switch legs. Other leg now. Again, set up that good posture. Sit as tall as you can. Engage your core. Shoulders are up and back and down. And then two hands sliding down the leg. And you're bending forward from the waist. Right? Just bending forward. Going as far as your hamstring will allow you. And you should start to feel it behind the thigh. And again, trying to maintain that good posture in your spine. Right? Neutral spine. Don't round your upper back and round your shoulders and you're shrugging. We don't want to promote that bad posture, so we try to keep and maintain the good posture throughout the entire stretch. All right, moving on. Now we don't have to really focus on our posture because you can go all the way back in your chair and we're going to cross the pigeon or the figure four stretch, trying to work on the glutes, the hip. So the goal is to try to get your ankle right outside the knee on the down leg. So we're literally crossing our leg, bending at the knee, and you're relaxing your upper back against your chair, and you're just trying to apply pressure down. Now, if this is too much and you can't do it, take pressure off. If it's still too much and it's just too painful, you can try to cross at the knee or at the ankle. Whatever one works for you. It's totally up to you. Now, I like to hold my ankle in place with my hand and then, of course, apply pressure with the other hand into my leg, trying to push that knee down. The goal is trying to get your shin to get somewhat parallel to the floor, which is tough to do. So we're working on hip mobility, but we're still getting that muscle back there in the glute, the piriformis, the gluteus medius. You just kind of feel it all in that area, which will give you relief in your hips and low back. And this is actually giving you a little bit of mobility through your hips, trying to manipulate your leg in such a way to give you that stretch. Other side. So same thing. Working on your flexibility. Mobility. Flexibility of the muscle, mobility of the joints. One side is definitely a little tougher for me than the other, which is this side. My right side is a lot tighter. And that's okay. That's how it is for me. And so I try to work on it as much as I can on my own, but it's tough. Nobody's perfect. And so you do what you can when you remember. So if it comes across your mind and you're feeling stiff, or if your back is bothering you, you should have a go-to stretch to help you, to give you some immediate relief. This is my go-to stretch for me, my hips and my back. And it's easy to do because you can do it from a computer, from your couch, sitting at your desk. Anytime you're in a seated position, really, except for when you're driving. Can't do it then. Don't do it then. I don't recommend it. Moving on. Let's work on our lower back. So, to give you a little bit of a side view, posture's real tall. You're sitting in the middle of your chair, give or take. You want to remove your back from the chair now. Focusing again on your posture, sitting tall. I'm going to turn to one side. It's almost as if I'm trying to look over my shoulder and rotate and twist. Now you're using your arms to help you rotate, depending on your chair, what you have. You can either grab the arm bar, or you can wrap around the back end of your chair. It just depends. You can also grab right around the seat of your chair. Now, there's always one hand right outside the knee. On that same side you're turning towards. So I'm turning to the right. I have my hand on my right knee, right outside my right knee. And you're just using your body and your chair to create leverage to help you turn. Go to the other side. Now always remember, on this one especially, because we're dealing with our spine, don't force it. Don't force the stretch. You just turn as much as your body will let you and hold it there. And you should start to feel a little stretch through your lower back. Trying to look over your shoulder, trying to look behind you. Don't force it. Do what you can. One more time to the other side. Same thing. Using your chair, using your leg, turning and twisting, looking behind you. One more time, other side. Last one. Okay, moving along to airplanes. So we're working lateral flexion with our body, stretching out the sides of our body, right around the ribs and the hips. Arms out wide. We tilt to one side. So as one hand goes down, the other one goes up. Working within your range of motion, your feet are wide. Now, if you're fortunate like me to have arms on your chair, it'll help keep you in place. But if you don't have those arms on your chair, then you want to use your legs a little bit more to help you stay balanced and stable. Right? Use your core. You actually physically want to think about engaging your abs, tightening up your stomach as you lean to the side, and use your core to help you get back up. And you'd be surprised how you get some core work out of this move while you're also stretching out your body. So we're stretching. You can actually start to feel it through the armpit, rib cage side of the core into the obliques and erector spinae, which wraps around our back. So you can feel that good stretch as you go to the side. And at the same time, you can use your core to help get you back up and tall, and then to the other side. So your core can really come into play and assist you with balance, get a little extra core work, and then you get your mobility. You're stretching. Mobility through that back, that spine, stretching through the muscles in and around that spine, around the hips. One more time to each side. Last one. All right. Nice and easy. Moving on. Let's work on our shoulders. So again, working from the ground up. Moving on. Arms out. Nice and you can come all the way back in your chair. Relax for just a little bit. Arms out to the side. We're going to work on some internal, external rotation. So your elbows are out to your side, but also a little bit in front. And you should be able to see your hands, your forearms, your elbows in your peripheral vision, your side vision. As you look straight ahead, you should be able to see your hands, forearms, and elbows. Try to form a 90-degree angle right there in your arms. 90 degrees in the elbows. From there, keep your elbows at that height. Don't let them move. And think about just turning, or not even turning. You're actually getting a rotation through your shoulder, through the upper arm, but you're trying to tilt your forearm and hands down towards the floor. Then right back up. So this upper part of your arm, from your shoulder to your elbow, remains parallel to the floor. The angle in the arm remains at 90. We go down and we go up. Trying to work both arms at the same time. Come down as far as you're comfortable with. Right back up. And so you're leaning back into your chair. You're relaxing a little bit. Elbows are in front of you. Hands are in front of you, but not too far out in front. Just enough to see your elbows and hands and your side vision as you look straight ahead. And if your vision isn't all that great, well, you're going to have to just feel your body. Feel where your arms are in space. And try to keep your elbows at shoulder height as you tilt the forearms down. And then right back up. From here, once you're vertical, let's come in to center. You feel that stretch on the outer part of your arm and shoulder. Go nice and wide. Now here you can go real wide. You're still leaning back in your chair. Go back, stretch. You should feel a stretch through your chest as you try to bring your elbows and hands behind you now. Then come in and go forward. Squeeze, bring it in. Not a big squeeze, but a good firm press with the hands and forearms together. Go out wide. Try to pinch the shoulder blades together. And you're relaxing the upper body. You're still leaning back into your chair. Relaxing that upper body. Get a good stretch here. Don't force it, but try your best to squeeze your shoulder blades together. And it actually helps if you're leaning back a little. It helps you squeeze. Now your chair may get in the way. If that's the case, bring your arms up a little wider. It just depends on the design of your chair. But you do what you can. If the chair is definitely in the way, then you gotta bend, lean forward a little bit, or sit tall and get your back off the chair, and then do what you can there. So you kind of have to play with it depending on what you're working with. There's always options. Okay, and from here now, out to the side, we're just going to reach up. If you're leaning back, it helps. Just reaching up, working on mobility, going towards the sky. Now, if you can't go straight up, that's okay. Maybe you're going forward at an angle. But do the best you can to just try to reach up towards the sky and stretch at the top. Just reach. Reach, reach, reach. You're trying to reach for something. Nice and easy, come all the way down. Relax your shoulders. So you're leaning back into your chair, but not too much. Still a little taller, somewhat tall. It's like a medium middle ground where you're thinking about your core. You're sitting tall, but you're also resting your lower back against the chair. Shoulders are relaxed down. Just relax them down. Rest your forearms and your hands in your lap. Tilt one head to the side. One side of your head towards your shoulder. So think about maybe your right ear to right shoulder. Then go to the other side. Left ear to left shoulder. And then just focus on that. And then go back. Right ear to right shoulder. Other side, left ear to left shoulder. And now from here, think about your chin coming down towards the clavicle, the sternum. All right, hands, last thing. We're going to stretch out our calves, and it's going to be the last one I'm going to leave you with, but we need to stand for that one. So before we stand, let's work on our wrists, little wrist mobility. Go in both directions. So if you started one way, change your direction now. And now you're just thinking about drawing a circle with your hands, your fingers. Just like what we did with our foot. We're just applying it now to our hands. Same thing. And then just open your hands, spread your fingers out as wide as you can. Close. Don't make a real strong, tight fist. It's just close firmly. Open wide. I mean, big open hand. As big as you can get. Come in, squeeze firmly. Open as big as you can. Come in, squeeze, firm but not overly strong with our hands. Open wide. One more time. Squeeze, open as wide as you can. Relax. Let's stand up. Last thing we're going to do. Our calves, the back of our lower leg. For as much as you walk, hopefully you're somewhat active. As much as you move, your calves need daily stretching. And you try to do it as much as you can when you remember, of course, it doesn't happen every day. There's no way. We just forget. Life gets in the way. We're busy. But when you do remember, and your calves, maybe your feet are feeling a little stiff, this is a great stretch. One leg is forward, one leg is back. You're behind the chair, 2 hands on top of that chair. Now make sure you're not pushing too far forward where it's sliding and getting away from you. So if anything, you can put it against something sturdy and so it doesn't slide. One leg forward, one leg back. Both feet are pointing straight ahead. Now my back leg is fairly straight. Now the back heel, this is the key. The back heel is down. So feet pointing in the same direction, back heel is down. And now you really start to feel that stretch in the back of the lower leg. You're actually getting a little bit of relief too in your foot. So this muscle leads into the ankle, the heel, and then the heel comes in and wraps into the arch. So it's all interconnected, they're intertwined. And interdependent really upon each other. So what we do in one spot will have effects in other areas. It's like a ripple effect. Other side. And it's a good thing. So this stretch will give you that little ankle mobility, little stretch in the foot, the arch. And then of course you're stretching out your calf, the back of the lower leg, which is one of the primary muscles used in walking, balance, standing, moving around, doing your day-to-day functions, whether it's gardening, playing pickleball, doing yoga, just walking around campus, moving around, hiking, biking. It's if you're on your feet, your calves are working, your feet are working, your legs are working. So this is a good stretch to do when you remember. And that is the goal. Trying to remember. Trying to remember the good stretches that give you the most benefit. This is a good one. This one and the figure 4 really helped me out. My figure 4 is my number 1 go-to because my hips. This is the second one that I tend to try to do as often as I can. Shoulders. We didn't do any kind of mobility through the shoulders from a standing position, so I'll leave you one more. This is probably one of the good ones, the better ones you can do. Crisscrossing in front of your body and then trying to swing wide. So you're really trying to swing back behind you and squeeze your shoulder blades together. And as you're actively trying to squeeze your shoulder blades together, you get that stretch through the chest. And it's a nice way to get that stretch and also move the shoulders and loosen up those arms a little bit. It's nice and easy. This is a really good one too for the shoulders. Just real big circle. Maybe 5 times in one direction, 5 times in the other direction. And really good shoulder mobility here. So I left you a little bit more than what I said I was going to give you, but it's okay. All in the benefit. You pick and choose what's good for you. You make it work what's good for your body, and you try to do it when you can, when you remember. So thanks for joining today, and until next time, take care.